You're going to fire it up. So they're going to hear everything we say
High
now.
Lake, that's going to be covered.
I know we got to be careful afterwards.
Right.
And then we got to the ideas of trying to hit the mute button over here so that all the microphones go off and picks up everything.
So the wells are all closed now, Scott, at the landfill?
Good.
So everything should be okay.
Okay. Smell complaints. Smell complaints at the landfill. That's what it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. They're trying to tap the wells that grab the smell.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
Mm.
Says so right there. Alrighty.
Are we
It's
good?
5.
No, we're not up yet.
It can only go as fast as
We're
the
in a
technology will
hold
go.
pattern right now.
Like that commercial with, do humans enjoy watching spinning circles?
All right. We're good?
Alrighty. You're
All
ready.
right. I would like to call the Public Works and Safety Committee meeting together at 5 o'clock on 4/15. And roll call, we've got Alderman Engelhardt. We got Neil Borgman, thank you. I went brain dead. Scott Kroger and myself, Eileen Madden. We also have Alderman Kabaki and John Jewell in the audience. This meeting has been noted as required by the Wisconsin open meeting laws. And would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty. Let's start with approval of the minutes for March 11th, 2019. Any comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, status projects. Waukesha Water.
Sure, there's no real updates on this one. The biggest thing is we're just waiting on the city of Waukesha to provide 90% plans for us to review. But they're supposed to do it in April. We're kind of in the end of April, May. So we're just waiting on those plans.
Excellent.
The next one, Bay Lane reconstruction. Last Tuesday, Common Council and Finance approved the contractor to do the water main work. That was approved and awarded to Wilcom Excavating. The pre-construction meeting was held last Thursday. The only thing that we're waiting on is the water main DNR permit. Once we get the permit, they'll notify us when they're going to start doing construction. At the pre-con meeting, the school was there, so we talked with the school, the police, everyone was there, We Energy, so we're ready to go on that piece of work as soon as we get the DNR permit. So we're just waiting on that. We also know the school is in session till June 14th. Next week is their break. We'd have liked to get the permit, but from the DNR before that, so they can start doing the work during that time period. But it's sitting at the DNR for the last 8 weeks for approval. So,
Surprise.
we got 2 bids on the road project. We are reviewing the bids right now. The next step would to bring that to Finance and Common Council. Once we award that bid, then we hold a pre-construction meeting, and then that portion of the project will start.
Does it look like it's going to be within budget?
It does actually look like it's
Good.
one's in, one's out. If everyone has driven your car lately, you see that gas prices have consistently stayed pretty high. And that means also oil prices have stayed pretty high, which means asphalt prices stay pretty high. It's not a good trend for doing road projects, road programs. If you see, usually you like to see that lower. When it's lower, we get better deals. So I'm just throwing caution out there for other projects that are coming in the next year or two. Just kind of letting you know, you can see that trend coming. The other thing too is a lot more projects that are being awarded by the DOT, which means more work out there. When there's more work, contractors aren't as hungry. So just be aware. These are the trends that you see coming. Hillendale reconstruction, the next plan is, I've talked to the consultant, we're looking for another PIM meeting sometime in the summer of 2019. At that time, we'll show them the next set of plans where we focused on no trail and to do more of a combination of more rural and then just a little bit of urban where we needed to not purchase land or to help with stormwater. So that'll be the next time that all the public can comment on that next set of plans. So.
All righty. And unfinished business, water main assessments.
That's
We're
got
deferring till
deferred,
June.
yep.
Okay.
And besides that, even if you don't make public works, that's coming to everyone. I just want to make that clear to everything, so.
New business, parking around Lions Park.
So from my understanding, every year, pickleball season has started. So every year, the request is by the police to provide some parking rules around there due to the fact that we have a lot of people that park around there. So what the chief is looking to do is do a more permanent solution. And just to kind of highlight some things, I got actually a map made up to help out for people to kind of see. I'm passing those down. So besides just the pickleball, I want to also notice to let you know too, we also host MAA flag football out there too. So this parking plan would do more than just pickleball. But the permanent thing would do is where you see in the yellow areas on the map to allow parking in those areas, and even in the blue area allow parking there full time for the yellow and blue area full time. That would solve all pickleball issues, and it would solve flag football when they start doing it in the fall time. In the red areas, we would post no parking signs, and you need to post no parking signs so that we're only allowing parking on one side of the street. As the police has said, this has kind of been our conditional thing that we have done in the last couple of years, and it has worked really well. We're just looking to do it on a permanent solution so that we don't keep coming back to you. Open up for any comments.
There's an empty lot next to that cul-de-sac. That's for sale. Maybe we should be buying a lot and putting in a parking lot.
We also, just to let you know, if you look at capital, it's a couple years down, but we did propose a 30 parking stall in Lions Park as well.
Lions Park?
Yeah, just refer to capital. We got the cost on it, but we kicked it out a couple years because we know we're trying to solve the issue. So, but it's a capital project. It would cost, a little bit more money, but we have the land to do it where we do a separate entranceway and we wouldn't impact the field at all over there. So, but that's another solution that if it's up, I will take a look at it, and maybe that's something that instead of building one, we just see if we can purchase it. And we'll take a look at it at the Capitol. So,
Have you got a proposed location if you go ahead with what you're just talking about?
all we did was got a cost for like 30. It's more of like, we knew it wasn't going to be on there, but we always have the cost estimate. That's why I legitimately put it in there. So you're like, did you get a cost for it? Yes, we did get a cost. Because we know that there's a lot of parking out there. It's just in Capitol. It's a couple years out.
And
it might
it's
even
on our
get kicked.
property, right?
It would be on our property. Correct.
Okay.
For this plan? Okay, I'm just this is an estimate here. You fill up the lot, you filled up the cul-de-sac, you maybe get 5 or 6 there, 5 here, 10, another maybe 20, so 20, 30, 35, another 5 there. Maybe anywhere between 40 and 50 cars. Because you're doing all the west side of Oak Grove, in front of the north side of Lions Park, and you're doing the cul-de-sac there. So I'd figure that could potentially get you anywhere. It depends on the size of the car, depends on how people park. So, but.
Okay, do we need a vote on this, a recommendation? I would assume.
This is for a permanent solution. This is,
Okay.
That's why it's got to come to you instead of
Okay.
coming every year. It's a permanent solution.
Now, one more question on the proposed idea of a parking lot in the future. Would that be still having street parking so we have more, or what's the idea
I
there?
think if we would ever do that, I think we would review the whole process and whether or not we would need it.
Okay.
But the thing is this, again, it's in that 5-year window. nothing's guaranteed in that 5-year window. But I think if we'd ever maybe, like you said, if there's a neighboring parking lot or that, I think we should review that again, if that goes forward and say,
Even if we make a motion here to make this so that it doesn't have to come back every year, but we can still bring it back next year if we want to change it again.
you can bring it back to change it if it doesn't work out, and say you could deny it. You also could, if we would ever build something, let's look at this once we build it.
That's your district, right, John?
No, that's
No?
District 4.
District 4? There hasn't been any problems that I've heard of with the pickleball parking.
No,
in
we
there.
asked the chief
Only-
and he
only-
said there
yeah.
hasn't been any issues.
Only when the no parking signs were up, they didn't have enough space at all.
Correct. That's why you have to, why I put in there, you have to put no parking signs up, or this will not work
Yeah.
on the one side of the road.
All right.
Make a motion to let this go forward.
A sec.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty. Waters of Lake Danoon.
So the waters of Lake Danoon, again, Mr. John Jewell, this is his development. The place is located just south of Danoon Park there. It's a 15-lot conservation subdivision. There'll be public roads in there, public storm sewer, and public sanitary sewer. The wells will be private. What this process has gone through, an iteration of John's engineer and himself has submitted the plans to us several times. We've gotten comments back. We are ready to take this to Public Works to say we're okay. We always put a contingency based off of staff comments, and the reason why is that is sometimes you find stuff in the field that John doesn't know, myself doesn't know, and we just deal with them, and so the plans might change slightly, but that's why we do as-built, so that we make sure that we have them. I would say the plan is been thoroughly reviewed, and we're at the point of, that we're approve them for the road, storm sewer, and sanitary, because those will be public entities that the city will then pick up. If you have time to look at the plans, again, I was saying it's 15 lot. There's, it's just one long cul-de-sac in there. Again, this is the property just south of Danoon Park in there. There's a couple detention areas. There's also this is a conservation plan, so that means the lots are kind of closer with bigger areas of open lot that are in there.
Any comments, questions? Be looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm in that.
Did you
Speak out loud, but I'm in it.
All right, we're approved. Okay, any new business to be placed on file? Anybody got anything they want to, okay. Then I'd be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
12 minutes.